I didn't start journaling because I had a system. I started because I didn't know what else to do with what I was feeling. There was too much of it. Anger that didn't have a clear space to go, loneliness that didn't always make sense, moments of love that felt too full to just pass by, fear that stayed longer than I wanted it to. And I needed somewhere to put all of that. So I started writing. Not regularly, not perfectly, just whenever something felt like it had nowhere else to go. That was about 15 years ago. And over time, something changed. Not suddenly, but steadily, gradually. Writing stopped being something I turned to only when things were overwhelming. It became something I returned to as a way of being with myself. Not to fix anything, just to not ignore what I was carrying. And that's the difference I want to talk about. Because journaling is often framed as something therapeutic, something you do to process, to heal, to improve. And it can be all of that. But before it becomes any of those things, it can simply be a form of care. The same way you check in on someone you love, the same way you sit with someone when they're not okay without trying to solve it immediately, writing can be that for you. A place where you don't rush past yourself, where you don't minimize what you're feeling, where you don't say this isn't important enough to pay attention to. Because most of the time, that's what we do. We move on quickly. We distract ourselves, we stay busy, we tell ourselves we'll think about it later. And later doesn't always come. So the feeling stays, unacknowledged but present. Writing interrupts that pattern. It says, this matters enough to sit with for a few minutes. That's care. Not in a dramatic way, in a consistent, quiet way. Over the years, I've written through a lot. Not with clarity, but with honesty. Some days it looked like a full page, some days it was just a few lines. I don't know what I'm feeling, but something feels off, or I'm more affected by this than I expected, or even I don't want to write today, but I don't want to ignore this either. And that last sentence, that's the practice. Not the perfect entries, but the willingness to stay. There's something important that happens when you do this over time. You stop waiting for your emotions to become manageable before you pay attention to them. You meet them as they are, messy, unclear, contradictory, and slowly you build a kind of trust with yourself. Because you know, no matter what you're feeling, you won't completely turn away from it. That doesn't mean you always understand it. I didn't. Even after years of writing, there are entries I go back to that are still unresolved. But they're not ignored, and that changes how they exist in you. There's a line from Audre Lorde that often gets remembered. Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. And writing for me became part of that care, not indulgent, not excessive, necessary. Because life doesn't slow down to give you space to feel everything. You have to create that space yourself. And a blank page is one of the simplest ways to do that. If you think about it, you don't need another system to manage your emotions. You need a place where they are allowed to exist, without being rushed, without being evaluated immediately, just acknowledged. So maybe don't ask yourself, is journaling helping me enough? Ask, am I giving myself even a few minutes to sit with what I'm carrying? Or am I moving past it every day? And tell me, when was the last time you wrote something down just to acknowledge how you felt without trying to change it? Because sometimes emotional care doesn't look like solving anything, it looks like not leaving yourself alone with everything you're holding. I'll come back tomorrow and we will write one more page. I hope you come back too.